All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin. As I said earlier today on my stream for the Chelsea transfer news, I'm probably going to do a review off the back of the England versus Scotland game because of all the Chelsea players that are involved. And I'm really happy to do this because I want to talk about Billy Gilmour a lot. But look, me not being an English fan, I follow Germany. I really wanted to see Scotland get that win, but I know Con was, doing his level best to support England. First of all, before we get into the whole match of things and whatnot, thank you so much for the live chat for joining. Yusuf's already here. Thank you heaps, my man. Con, how you doing?
Yeah, I was doing decent until I had to watch that 2 hour of misery. I'm not going to
lie. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, look, let's just quickly talk about that initial sort of reactions of the match. I mean, I see England with so many superstars, Con. Literally, the whole team is full of stars. How they don't have just basic passing sequence from the back, some nice link-up play. Besides Mason, and I was getting a little bit of the stick in the timeline. I don't know why. Besides Mason, who I saw that he was probably only one that I felt was pressing well, had some passing ranges as well. But he can't obviously do everything by himself. But what is it from your perspective that why can't this England team? I mean, surely is it just Southgate? I mean, what is it?
We've got a manager who got relegated with Middlesbrough. That's the problem, mate. We gave the job to a guy who was with the England under-21s, and he didn't even do that great with them because of the Big Sam situation, and then we need someone to fill the role. And that's the issue right there. Our manager is one of the worst on the international stage. There's no excuse for us to play that poorly. Why do we play with two DMs, man, against Scotland? Why have we got Phillips and Rice? We don't need them both.
I mean, you can see Rice is sitting deep. Why then have Phillips when you can use another attacking player in the sense of Grealish? Do you know what I mean? Like Phillips was hanging out in the front third anyway. So
yeah, but that's the thing. Why don't we just put Phillips as the holder? Because I think he's better than Rice anyway.
Yeah.
Why don't we play Foden actually on the left, like Pep does, and not play him on the right? I don't know what that's about. Why Kane and Sterling get this? I don't know. They can play poor and they'll stay on the pitch for how long?
Bro, Sterling was once again his touches, his decision making. I don't know why this surely form comes into play at a particular time, and you sort of had to say to yourself that, you know what, his form's not the greatest. Yeah, he's got the experience, but let's use a player that's got a good form at the moment. I mean, for me, it's madness, the fact that Grealish is benched. And also Sancho, 2 games now, does not even get a smell into this Euros.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Southgate's got no balls. I'm going to say how he is. He hasn't got balls. He ain't going to bench a Kane or a Sterling. He's just not. And there's no form coming to question. Sterling's had an awful season. Kane, I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what's going on there. But Sterling's had an awful season. Yeah, he got this goal against Croatia, but I don't even think he looked that good then. So
yeah, 100% agreed, man. Kane definitely didn't look good against Croatia, and once again, he's absolutely been nowhere today. I find that very, very strange. So many people having a go at Kane, and I feel like saying it's not really Kane. It's the way England's set up that causes this issue. We'll break down each of these players. Let's talk about the whole Rice situation first, because I think this is very interesting, and we'll put in the whole Billy Gilmour side of things as well. Honestly, Con, I'm not having a go at Declan Rice. I think he's a very good player, but the hype that our fan base has created for this player is unbelievable, making it seem like he's world's greatest DM out there. I mean, I haven't seen anything that he's done over the last game and this game where it's been absolutely mind-blowing to the sense that it's worth spending the 80 million on this particular player. You look at someone like Billy Gilmour, so composed, so confident to come across such superstars in front of him, and his composure in passing. He even a couple of times stole the ball off Declan Rice. So what's your thoughts on that, man?
I think people who know me will know my thoughts on Rice. I've never been a big fan of him. And it's not just Billy's performance today. Credit to him. That was amazing. But if you look at Jorginho for Italy, he's been playing out as well. He's been fantastic in a midfield 3 as well. Not in the pivot. He's been in the midfield 3. So I don't know. The fascination's weird, Miz. I don't get it. Because if we're talking about just the player himself, he's not as good as the hype. That's just
No,
facts. It's the other side of it, of being Mason Mount's best friend, being from Cobham. Like, he's a
it's
Chelsea
the
guy.
emotional factor. It's the
Yeah,
emotional side.
it's the sentiment. Do you know what I mean? And it's stupid. Once a few big influencers who have a sort of a lot of control or sway in people's opinions start rooting for somebody, all logic goes out the window and people just blindly follow. And that's what happened with Rice, let's be honest. Because every time, Miz, you'll go to someone, why should we spend this money on Rice? You will hear he's good leadership. He's got Chelsea DNA. He's young. Like, he's one for the future. Like, name me some actual
Understands
attributes.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
He understands Chelsea. Like, I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, like, they don't ever like list attributes, and when they do, it's very limited because they don't watch West Ham. Let's be honest, they don't.
Yeah.
Who watches West Ham? Even if I was a West Ham fan, I probably wouldn't watch them that often. Like, they don't watch them enough to make these conclusions. And it's like I said, once one person says it, everyone's just starts saying it, and it's just the bandwagon. It just goes on. And I'm sick of hearing Rice's name. Like, yes, we'll all talk about Haaland, but it's different. Have you seen how people talk about Rice and Haaland? It's totally different, man.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Haaland, I've always said, like, he's the absolute creme de la creme when it comes to striking situation, right? With Rice's position, there's literally so many options. Let's talk a little bit about Billy Gilmour, man. I feel like, honestly, next season, I don't want to force a DM. Like, if we can't find the right DM for Thomas Tuchel that he's searching for, let's say, for argument's sake, and even that, there's now actual, journalists coming out and saying apparently it's not even a priority at the moment because Thomas Tuchel seems to be happy with Kante, Jorginho and Kovacic. Jorginho's doing some madness with Italy. Kante for France is unbelievable. Kovacic for Croatia is probably one of the main player. And then I'm happy to have Billy as the backup to all of these three. I'm so confident that he's going to do a good job. I honestly see no need, absolutely no need to get someone like Rice, man. I mean, it's about time the fan base starts thinking about this deeply and really stay away from the emotional side of things, because you'll literally see there's people in social media, especially in football Twitter, that, as you said, only talks about the emotional side. As soon as they see a picture with Mason Mount and Declan Rice, yep, let's sign him, mate. Let's sign him. And it's getting to a point where it's becoming so much, it's frustrating. And the fact that they don't seem to understand that you bring in someone like Rice, what happens to Billy Gilmour? They seem to talk about, if you bring in Hakimi, what happens to the Livramento, but what happens to Billy Gilmour?
Yeah, do you know what? That is actually a good point, because I remember I spoke about Hakimi and saying, like, Livramento hasn't really played. Hakimi's one of the best in his position in the world. And then someone said, oh, but you said what happens to Billy with Rice coming. I was like, in my head, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to entertain this because Declan Rice, for one, isn't one of the best in his position in the world, like Hakimi. And two, Billy Gilmour has showed us at top level he's up to the task, Like, sure, he's not a guy who you can play week in, week out. He's not quite there yet, but he can play at this level given opportunity, And we saw that against the likes of Liverpool and Everton, 2 back-to-back man of the matches.
Man of the matches, yeah.
So it's crazy. And, like, the Livramento and the Billy, it's just so different. One's never played a senior game in his life, and one has back-to-back man of the matches in Merseyside. So it's just not a comparable situation. It's a dumb comparison. It's a lazy one. It's a lazy one.
100% agree, man. PYS, my man. How you doing?
What's up? I'm doing. How can I explain it? I don't know. Not great, but I guess just. I'm kind of happy that Billy's won the man of the match. That's the only thing that's cheered me up a little bit. But yeah, no.
Bro, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about that, because we've been actually saying this. I mean, he thoroughly deserved that man of the match, PYS. I mean, I want to get your perspective on this. People talk so much about Declan Rice, and honestly, I don't think I saw too much in the first couple of games. And in this one, Billy absolutely overshadowed him. I mean, is there really a conversation to have now, the fact that, we 100% need someone like Declan Rice? Or should we actually be thinking, no, Billy's 100% a player that can be a good backup to Kante, Jorginho and Kovacic?
I mean, he certainly can be. Like, for me, I don't really want to change our midfield anyway. Like, I think the players we have, like the 4 players we have at the moment, they all really complement and suit Tuchel's system to what it needs to be. You know, like even when you're watching Billy and Rice today, the main difference is Billy's always active. He always wants the ball. The ball, you know, Rice really is just a pure defensive player. He doesn't actively look for the ball. He doesn't progress the ball well, for me. And it's not an overreaction. I mean, I've said I wouldn't mind Rice coming to Chelsea because whoever comes to Chelsea, if they're Tuchel's targets, then I'll back them. But at the same time, like if I had a personal choice, I wouldn't sign Rice. You know, he's too much money. And second off, I don't think he fits Tuchel's system. If we're going to sign a DM, then it'd probably have
honestly, PYS, I'm so glad you've said that. Honestly, take a bit of time now to say why you think he doesn't fit Thomas Tuchel's system, because that's what I feel as well. I look at his game and I'm thinking, that's not how Thomas Tuchel plays, because I feel like Rice is too slow on the ball. Like, even today with the build-up, there were certain times where Mason was like literally frustrated, had his hand on his head, and he was like, come on, like, push it forward quicker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he really frustrated me. You know, he's just not active enough. Not, you know, he never made angles for the ball. You know, the two players that have to play in Tuchel's pivot have always got to be active, looking for the ball. You know, people say Kante's not good on the ball, but he's always looking for the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rice just isn't that player. Rice is the player that would suit more of a. I'm trying to think of a team that would suit him more, like kind of a less possession-based team, maybe like a Man United or someone where they have the ball, yes, but you know they will concede a lot of possession sometimes and sit deep. Whereas with us, we have the ball, you know, 90% of the game. So we at least try to have the ball 90% of the game. Like that's the whole Tuchel idea and philosophy. So, you know, it's hard to try and fit Rice into this team because the midfielders just complement Tuchel's style so much better, in my opinion. You know, even Kovacic, who's a roamer, but he's so good on the ball. Like he gets out of tight spaces, he passes the ball fast. We all know about Jorginho. Like for a possession-based system, there's not really a better six or a better DM in Europe for me. Just the way he progresses the ball, the way he always makes angles, he's always looking for the ball. And then you have Kante as well, who just would never be dropped anyway and has proven himself under Tuchel. And then you also have Gilmore. So if you're going to sign a DM and you put Gilmore out on loan, it can't be Rice for me because he just doesn't suit the system. And second off, that means that Gilmore would find it really hard, in my opinion, to come back into the team. After loans, because you never know, Miz, as well, whether Gilmore has a really good loan or not. You don't know. They might choose the wrong team. You know, there's only a few possession-based sides in the Premier League that are sort of lower down that we could send it to, you know, like a Brighton or someone. But
Brighton,
they have a good midfield. So Rice has never really made sense for me for Tuchel. That was pretty much my whole point from the start. But, you know, I'll see what the club does. But I'm pretty sure we'll get priced out anyway. So I don't think we need to worry, to be honest.
No, for sure, man. Con, let's talk a little bit about Reece James's game as well, and then we'll talk about Mason Mount. For me, I thought Reece defensively was pretty good. I think attacking-wise, this is where and this is where I suppose we're getting linked with Hakimi, and we could probably tie into this whole discussion as well. And this is what I don't mind seeing him next season playing as a right CB if we continue with the three at the back. That's probably what we're going to continue with. I think defensively, he's sound going forward. I don't think he's very adventurous. I don't know whether he's cautious. He did put in a nice cross for Kane, but Kane was offside. So he does have that quality, but I feel like he can even do that from a right CV position. He did a really good off-the-line goal-saving block, which was it was going in. Scotland probably had the better chances. But what do you think about Rice's game? And do you feel probably right CB is where he could probably flourish for Chelsea next season?
In the back three, yeah. I think if we can get Hakimi done, I know that's a lot of a bit of a mess right now. But if we can have a Hakimi right wing back and Reece James right centre back, that's going to be disgusting. That's going to be one of the best right sides in Europe. So I really want Hakimi for that reason. Reece sometimes isn't as adventurous as you like, but he still created one of the best chances for England today. If Kane holds his run for a second and actually turns into Harry Kane at some point, he scores that, you know? So I don't think it was bad at all. Like Walker the other day was he was good defensively, but going forward it was awful. I just don't think this team connect well, you know? This England team doesn't connect well, so
there's no chemistry, man.
Yeah.
I don't see any chemistry. Look, I saw a lot more chemistry in Scotland.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Reece probably links up best with Hudson-Odoi when they're playing on that right side. When they're playing together, they link up really nicely. And I feel like Reece needs that. He needs that winger to really, connect with. And he doesn't have that in Foden. At right wing, Southgate. Come on. So it's Sancho, I think, should have played today. I think we would have seen a better Reece James if Sancho played today, but I think Reece was good. I don't think it was a bad performance at all.
I thought Reece was great as well. I want to quickly ask you as well, Con. I mean, it feels like it's criminal not to be able to. I know there is the balance of the team, but I feel like you can still get a good balance by including players like Sancho and Grealish, especially in likes of Sterling and when Kane's not informed. Seems like at the moment I'd still keep him there. I feel like it's to do with the system. That's why he's not getting the benefit. But someone like Sancho, I mean, to not see him at all in this particular competition, that's for me, that's baffling, man.
Yeah, it's Southgate. I don't know what goes through this brother's head. I really don't. He obviously doesn't like Grealish for some reason, probably because Grealish is better looking than him. Probably doesn't like Sancho. I don't know what his issue is with Sancho and Grealish. Like, play them. They're two of our best players. Has he not seen that Sancho is going to go to United for like 80, 90 million? There's a reason for that, because he's so good. Have you seen these numbers for the past 2 seasons? I don't get it, Miz. This is what I hate watching England, because he's got a clown in charge. We fully got a clown in charge. And we have such a talented group. And when you're leaving out players like Grealish and Jadon Sancho and you don't score in a game, you got blood on your hands.
Con, do you reckon there's some rumors going around, right, that because Sancho plays in the Bundesliga and a lot of the other players obviously play in the Premier League, he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. Like, do you reckon that plays a bit of a part, that Sancho's not a Premier League player?
No, I just think Southgate's a clown, to be fair. To be fair, probably because Southgate can't be bothered to fly over to Germany and watch Sancho or something. Miz, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, to all of us, it makes sense to start Grealish and Sancho, but to the guy who actually matters, he doesn't do it. So frustrating to be an England fan, to say the least.
No, fair enough, man. PYS, before I get to you, I just want to quickly read this out. Father, thanks so much for the super chat. As an Indonesian living in England, I feel sorry for you guys had to watch that whack performance. Now I see why people are moaning about Southgate. Honestly, PYS, if you were the England manager, right, how would you set up, and considering the balance is right as well, who would you be starting and whatnot? As Con said, it's baffling that someone like Sancho does not even get a look into this game. Grealish comes off the bench. I mean, how would you set this up?
Yeah, it's something you can debate. I mean, we've got a lot of talent, Miz. That's the problem. It's the same old with England. We have so much talent, and we are really a team of individuals. We're not a team as such. You know, you watch Portugal, they're a team. You know, even like some of the lower teams that I've watched, like Ukraine, they're a team. Like, they are proper gritty. They're all of talent. Who else have I been watching? Like, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head.
Bro,
like
Italy as well, man. Italy is a unit.
Italy is the prime example of a team, man. They have talent, but they also have so much chemistry. Whereas with us, it's just a load of individuals for different clubs. There's no chemistry there. Like, there really isn't. It's evident. Like, Reece James today as well. People were telling me, why isn't he going forward? The guy's going forward. He's getting the ball. He's waiting for a runner, and then they all stand there, so he has to go back.
Yeah.
Like, how are you blaming Reece? It's crazy. Like, Harry Kane thinks he's Firmino dropping in DM and all this. Like, stay up front, man. Like, I would have rather seen Calvert-Lewin today, honestly, running the channels. Like, Kane's not doing his job, man. Like, he really isn't. And I know he's like he's up there for the best striker in the world, but for England, these last 2 games, like, he's been arse. Like, he has been arse. He's been
it seems like he's lost pace as well. He couldn't get past Billy Gilmour in the second half. There was a chance where there was counter where Billy Gilmour actually caught up to him.
Man. I don't know what's happening with him, but it's just things aren't clicking. And the problem with Euros is you don't really have enough time. Like, so you've got the group stage games. Like, this is only 3 games, and then you're into knockouts if you qualify. So there's not much time to fix things. So that's why you really need like an elite tactical manager on the training ground. Like, even if I refer to club level, look at Tuchel. Look at what we were saying for club level. He came in. How quickly did he change things? How quickly did he get us playing different? How quickly did the players understand his instructions? Southgate, no, not for since he's been in charge. Like, even the World Cup run, like, we played no good teams. Like, literally, Sweden were okay, but that was it. Like, really, there was no good teams. pretty much. We played Croatia and they beat us. Like, and even they're bad now. So it's just, yeah, I don't really know what to say. In terms of lineup, I mean, for me personally, I would like to. The thing is for me is I don't want us to play 2 DMs. Like, I don't think we need it. But then again, like,
honestly, you guys don't. England doesn't need 2 DMs, man.
Yeah,
like
like,
barely teams come at you guys.
The thing is, though, if we played like a 4-3-3 and we had like someone sitting and then 2 8s, it's kind of the same thing we had with Lampard, where we'd probably just get overrun, even if we created chances. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that's why he plays 2 DMs. So there's extra, defensive solidity. But then when he plays 2 DMs, there's not enough creativity. So it's kind of a big mess up. Like, like ideally you'd want as many attackers in the team as possible. Maybe Mount and Foden in, sort of attacking midfield positions. Then on the wings, maybe you'd have like Rashford or Sancho, and then who else? Like Grealish. So that's ideal. But yeah, you can't really play that attacking, I don't think. I'm maybe in the group stage games, but in the knockouts, I'm not sure. So he's got to sort it out quickly anyway. Like, he's got to do something, because we're just going to get battered in the knockouts. Like, I think we play, if we finish top, so if we beat Croatia, we play
one of the
Portugal, or we play Germany.
Exactly.
Bro, them two will smash us. So if we play like this anyway, you know what I mean? It's terrible.
Con, this is what I said the other day as well, that people got so hyped up after the Croatia game, and I said there were moments in that Croatia game where Croatia actually looked better. The only reason why Croatia couldn't do anything is they don't have a lethal striker up front to put things away. Their midfield was, especially Kovacic, there were moments where I felt like he was controlling it. And England got away with that 1-0 win, special moment from Calvin Phillips through the middle. And then Sterling really got lucky with that strike. He didn't actually hit that cleanly either. I feel, honestly, as people have said, if you guys meet some of the bigger dogs in this competition, in the likes of France, in the likes of Portugal, Italy, honestly, this England team will get absolutely pasted. I mean, is that how you sort of look at it as well, Con?
I think you have to be honest. Italy have really impressed me. Like, Mancini is such a good manager, and there's a reason why they're on such a good winning run. I think they're undefeated in like 26 games.
26 games. 26 games or something.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's because Southgate, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, before this, when we played the friendly, before the Euros, we played a back five, man. Like, you can't just keep switching things at international level. You got to have like a core route of how you want to play. And this guy doesn't know anything. He's a clown. And that's the problem. Like, the team's so good. I think any manager like who wants to manage internationally would love to have this England side.
Bro, imagine Thomas Tuchel had that team, bro.
Imagine any semi-competent manager had this team. We have so much talent, but you're benching like our best attacker. Like, I don't understand. Do you want Sterling to run in behind, but then he's come to feet? Then you're playing Kane. Like, what do you want Kane to do? Do you want him to drop deep like a Firmino, Sterling, and Foden running behind? Like, if you're going to do that, why not play Sancho instead then? Like,
exactly.
It doesn't make sense. I don't know what he's trying to do. And then the 2 DMs is so... We don't need 2 DMs against Scotland. I'm sorry. You just don't. It's like Chelsea playing 2 DMs against Burnley. Like, you don't need that. We're such a superior team, and we have people who can keep possession. We've got players who are great at keeping the ball. Yeah. But Southgate is just terrible, Miz. He's honestly terrible. And it's painful.
And you know what, Con? It felt like he did not have a game, well, he did not seem to have a game plan from the get-go, but even when the score was 0-0 deep into the second half, it didn't look like he's going to be able to do something drastic in the sense of formation-wise. Obviously his substitution, Rashford for Sterling, Grealish for Foden, or whoever it was. I mean, he's not making like something different to change the game around. Like, that's what I find so baffling about Southgate. But let's talk a little bit about Mason Mount, man. For me, I'll go to you, PYS, first up. For me, Mason probably stood out. I got a lot of stick when I stated this. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, really? Da-di-da-di-da, here we go, Mason Mount." I'm like, dude, have a look at that England team. They look so disorganized, so disoriented. Mason's probably the only one that's still able to press well. His passing range was good. Didn't look like he was getting dispossessed half the time. I think there was a chance for him in the first half, but look, these sort of things happens. But for me, overall, Mason Mount probably stood out as the best player for England. What's your thoughts?
I absolutely agree with that. I thought Mason was actually pretty good tonight. He should have had an assist in the first half with Stone's header, but he was the only one, Miz, that was really trying to drive him forward into attack. Like, really had that shot. I just thought generally, like, no bias here either. Like, genuinely, I thought he was probably our best player. Like, he was our most lively player anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Grealish came on, looked quite lively, but I don't know. He couldn't really do much because Scotland sat so deep. So, but yeah, I thought Mount was probably our best player, but that's not really saying much because I think the whole team was just pretty crap, to be honest. But Mount was the one really that was just trying to drive the attacks, kind of like he does for Chelsea. When we're having a bad Mason's, he may not be the best, but he'll be the one that stands out for. You can remember, like if Chelsea have a really bad game, there's often like. Who was the best part of the worst lot? You Mason Mount. It's usually Mason Mount because he usually does one or two, maybe three things a game, even if we lose or draw, that you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. You know what I mean? The other players don't. Like that's the problem. So yeah, that's the problem with this England team. There's just too many people who want to be the hero, but then again, like none of them are stepping up. Like it's really embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like we've got Czech Republic as well. People are saying, "Oh, that's easy,"
Bro, I don't think that's going to be easy for you guys. I don't think that'll be easy.
We qualify if we draw, or if we win either. But again, if we draw that game, people are going to be so pissed off. Like even if we win and we play bad, people are going to be so pissed off because after that's the knockout. So yeah, it's not looking good for us as a country at the moment.
Nah, man, that's crazy, man. Con, about Mason Mount, it's so true what people have said that even when the whole team's playing bad, you can clearly see this is the one standout guy. I mean, it's crazy how he's now, obviously he's won the Chelsea Player of the Season award, and now he's absolutely shining through for England as well. Out of all the superstars, he's the one who's actually showing that, one, he cares, two, he's absolutely serious about this competition and he wants to do well. I mean, what's your thoughts? Did you feel similarly as well that Mason Mount probably stood out? Or were there any other sort of English players that you thought, deserves the praise?
Mount was our best player today, and I'm not going to debate that with anyone. If people think differently, then they can think that. I can't be bothered to debate that. I think he's the only one who tried to make something happen. I'm getting sick to death with Sterling with his dead touches when Mount does a good ball to him. That's really, it's getting under my skin. Like, if you're going to play Mount on the left side, right, why not play Chilwell, for God's sake? You have two players who won the Champions League together. They've got good chemistry. They're good friends. They know each other inside out. Play Ben Chilwell with him. Like, give Mount some help, please. Because today, I even tweeted at one point, there's no point even trying anymore because nobody around him could do anything, man. And that's what it was. No help today. Do you know when you see the memes, the picture, it's like, no help. That was Mount. Our best player today. Just let down by others, as per usual. Where we heard that before, huh?
100. Just to talk about that Chilwell thing, this whole England team doesn't seem to have any chemistry. Surely Southgate looks at it that's one place where I can get a little bit of chemistry on the left side if I use Mount there, Mount and Chilwell. I mean, it seems like he's so forced to play people like Sterling for experience, people like Luke Shaw. I don't know whether it's experience or because of his season. Like, it's like he doesn't seem to make the smart decision that, okay, I get that Sterling's got the experience and maybe Luke Shaw had a very good season, but I can't disregard the Champions League winning combination of Mason Mount and Chilwell. There's a bit of combination and chemistry there. Why not use that on that left side? And maybe I can get something out of that. And maybe a Kane comes alive after that. I mean, see, honestly, Con, what
you're saying is fact, bro. Everybody is thinking the same thing you just said. But apparently to Gareth Southgate, the clown of management right now, he doesn't see it. And I don't get, nobody can explain to me why Chilwell doesn't play when you play Mount on the left. It makes no sense. And yes, you need experience, but you're talking about a CL winning combination, a Champions League winning combination.
I mean, this isn't small talk. This is big. Like, these guys won the Champions League, do you know what I mean? Together. And they played so well. And you're putting Mount with Luke Shaw, who he's literally not played with him at all, besides the odd game here and there for the international scene. Like,
we're talking about a guy who played Trippier at left back over Shaw and Chilwell in the first game. This is what we're dealing with here. We're not dealing with a rational manager, you know. We're dealing with a guy who's, I don't even know if he thinks he knows what he's doing, you know. And I don't have any like personal agenda, but the guy got sacked from Middlesbrough, but apparently good enough for England manager. Like, what the hell, man? We've got a worse Ollie as our manager. Where's the logic? He's a coward, Miz. He would rather draw a game than go to win it, and that stinks of Ollie. That stinks of Ollie.
So true. At least with Ollie, I get the sense that he likes to play counter-attacking football, so he sets it up that way. Obviously, he's got no sense in the you know, when it comes to possession-based football when other teams are sitting deep. But at least I can see some sort of ideology from Ollie's sense at times that, okay, he's trying to just get the best out of the individuals. He doesn't really have a proper team game plan. But with Southgate, I feel like he's just lost. I mean, POS, I want to ask you this as well. The fact that Chilwell, now 2 games for England, hasn't played, I feel like England's missing out on a trick here. And Trippier first game, Luke Shaw second game, surely that's not going to be, you know, good for a player like Mason Mount to build chemistry when there's zero chemistry in this team.
Yeah, I mean, you are right. Like, I'd rather Chilwell does play, but to be honest with you, it's kind of a blessing that he's not, because at least he's not getting injured, you know, from a selfish point of view. But no, if we're talking strictly England, then yeah, he should be playing. Like, him and Shaw should rotate, really. Because the thing is, a lot of people don't rate Shaw, but I actually do rate Shaw. It's just
He's good.
As Con said, like, when you're playing Mount, like, sort of left-hand side, it makes sense to play, you know, Chilwell there, because they do have natural chemistry, and that's one of the things I said we lacked. So, yeah, I mean, even the first game really annoys me. Like, Trippier left back, I mean, what on earth are you doing? Like, just play a natural left back there. Like, it's just, what is wrong with you? Like, play Chilwell first game, play Shaw next game, play Chilwell against Czech, you know, like, and then whoever plays the best out of them starts left back in the knockouts. Like, it's not hard, is it? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, he just overcomplicates things, and his subs are stupid sometimes as well. Like, Foden coming off, like, oh my days. How on earth Raheem Sterling stayed on this pitch? My God, what awful footballer. I don't care if he scored the winner last game. Like, absolutely tragic, mate. It's like, honestly, it's so bad. He couldn't control the football if he tried. Like, pocketed in the Champions League final as well. Like,
yeah.
Bad, man. So bad.
Nah, so true, man. This comment here is so spot on from Anirudh. I want to get Con's perspective, because people are enjoying Con's rage. I'm seeing it in all over live chat. PYS probably just fed up with England. The PYS has a lot of rage as well. He's just cooling things down.
Bro, I tweeted I miss Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. I don't care about this anymore. I'm done. I've seen 2 games and I'm out, mate. I'm just chilling now.
Tap out.
Please, I can't. Thing is, man, it reminded me of like Conte, like fucking 17, 18 sufferable, like cancer ball. Like, genuinely, it was terrible. Oh my
absolutely,
God.
Absolutely.
I refuse to put myself through that suffer. You know, unless it's Chelsea, I ain't putting myself through the suffer. So, you know what I mean? I want us to win, but I ain't getting heated over it too much.
No, true. Con, this comment here, I'm absolutely liking this from Anirudh, saying Scotland is weakest on the right side. On the left, they have good defense, but Southgate was using the left side of Scotland to move up the field. I mean, surely people could see Scotland's left side has Robertson and Tierney. Like, that's not an area that you want to go towards. You want to sort of go towards the right side where there's a distinct, weakness. I mean, this in itself is craziness, in my opinion.
Gareth Southgate. This is what we're dealing with. How many times do I have to say it, man? It's like, the guy's a clown. He's such an idiot, man. Like, we're just fans, right? And we see the problem. Imagine being one of those players and you're thinking, what are you doing? Like, boss, what are you doing? Like, can you imagine your Mason Mount or Chill coming from Tuchel, who's tactically just there, you know, tactically spot on. And you go to Gareth Southgate, he goes, well, I want you to go out there and have fun today. Try and do something if you can. Like, they're probably thinking, this brother ain't got a clue. That's why Mount was literally just running with the ball and just forcing everything he was trying. Because this guy ain't got a clue. He hasn't got a Scooby, man. He's an idiot. He's a clown. And someone actually turned around and said, "You're not going to blame the players." I was like, don't even try and say that, because we have such an awful manager, and all England fans, one worry about this tournament was Gareth Southgate, and it's turning out all of our worries were spot on. Absolute clown, man. I don't want to see his face anymore, Miz, man.
So true, man. Cotton has absolutely had it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got literally 70 people live right now. Please smash the like button. Helps the channel out a lot if you're enjoying this. We've got the boys here talking about the England game. I will bring you guys in very, very soon to get your opinion. But before we do that, PYS, I do want to ask you about, obviously the next particular game, which is Czech Republic for you guys, for England. Czech are not an easy team, man, and someone like Schick up front, who's doing really well. I've not really watched any of the Czech game, but I did see the one in terms of highlights against Scotland. They look very decent. I mean, PYS, like I can't see how England will go there and do a trick on Czech Republic. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, probably be another boring draw or something, or we'll probably nick a win. But if this manager just has any idea or any clue, which I don't think he does, then we'll see a drastic change by whenever we play. I think it's Tuesday. So, but yeah, I mean, Con's raging, but I'm just more like fed up, to be honest. Like, I'm just kind of CVA, like. I really see it's just really dejecting to watch that kind of crap. Like, honestly, it's just crap. Kind of similar vibes as to how sort of the Lampard era sort of ended.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it because people are sensitive about that.
No, to be honest, I don't care. It's kind of the same thing, though, isn't it? Like, it was just.
Pies, can I be real with you, bro? At least that was entertaining, At least, we just got banged 3-0 by City. At least it was entertainment value there. Like, yeah, we suffered, but we was entertained. It was stinky, boring 1-0s and 0-0s, man. It stinks worse than that. I'd rather go through that Lampard era again right at the end.
Yeah, rather just get pummeled, rather just get destroyed.
At least it was entertaining, Southgate, it's just boring. It's like a poor version of United, man. When I watch United, I'm bored. When I watch England, I'm even more bored,
The thing is with like what you're saying, like, even if you win 1-0, like Chelsea under Tuchel have won a lot of 1-0s, but how damn entertaining are we? Like, how much do we attack?
Yeah.
How much do we create chances? We have the ball the whole time, but we move it quickly. Like, there's always fluidity. There's just nothing in this England side. They look clueless. Like, it is like the end of the Lampard era. It's just go out and vibe, go out and play, try and score a goal, try and win the game. It's kind of that same thing from Southgate. Like, there's no tactics, there's no phase of play, like there's no patterns, there's no nothing. You can't, after a game, find something on the internet where it'll be like, because you have like the analyst accounts and stuff that will be trying to find bits and pieces from the game where they're like, oh, this will be good, or this has been good from that game. There's nothing from Southgate. Like, it's just all criticism. Like, and England have always been boring, right? No matter what the manager, but at least we scored goals. Like, at least we scored goals. Like, we just don't score goals under this guy. Like, it's just terrible. Like, and Scotland, like, the commentator put it perfectly. People were saying England are like one of the favourites. On paper because of our like individuals, but as a team, no chance. Like, any half decent team that actually attacks, like, I'm pretty sure Ukraine would beat us. Like, I'm genuinely dead sure. Like, no, seriously, because because they are really good at attacking, and I can just see it crumble. Like, I'm trying to think of just an average team, but an actual team, not a bunch of individuals, because I'm sure they'd beat this team.
What about Wales, man? Wales, PYS? I think Wales is probably a good team too.
No, it would be the same as Scotland. Like, it would be the same sort of result. Like, they could even beat us. Scotland could have beat us today. They had a few chances. Let's add that as well.
But I think Scotland had a better chances. Honestly, they had the better chances.
Like, honestly, I could just name so many teams that would actually beat us, and it's embarrassing as an England fan, because this is pretty much like, apart from like, the Lampard, the Gerrard and stuff, like, this is really the golden sort of team, the golden boys, Like, it's just ridiculous how much talent we've got on paper, and we're just not doing anything with it. That's why I just can't be bothered, because it's just deflating, and yeah, it's just, That's all I really have to say. It's just shite, basically. It's just shite.
Man, I feel so bad for both of you boys, man. Honestly, you guys are hoping that England with such a superstar team can do a trick, but I can feel the pain, man. I honestly can feel the pain. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get some fans in. PYS Con, it's totally up to you guys. If you guys want to leave and relax for the evening, it's up to you. If you want to stick around, it's up to you as well. So whatever you want to do, let me know. Con, you want to stick around or you want to chill out?
I was in a party with my friends, so I'm probably going to go join them again. Thanks for having me on, Miz. I really need this run.
No problems, bro. Thank you so much for your time, my man. Thank you.
You're welcome. And guys listening, it's not coming home, sadly, but let's hope Southgate doesn't come home either. Peace out, guys.
Keep him as well. Keep him. Thank you. Thank you so much, Con. PYS, man, do you want to stick around or you've got an evening planned out?
I'll stay for a little bit longer, man. I'm all
Cool.
good.
Cool. All right, let's bring on Father. Father, my man, how you doing?
Oh, this guy. Oh, my days. Father's You don't know about this guy, right? Every night I join Worldwide Chelsea stream at like 2 a.m. and this guy coming to troll and this guy's live and he's like, bring PYS in, get PYS on, and Worldwide Chelsea does it. This guy, man, honestly.
He's the best, bro. He's the best. One of my top supporters as well. Father, talk to me, man. What did you see from the England performance? Talk to me.
First and foremost, you have to give credit to Billy Gilmour, you know.
Oof.
Oh my God. I'm not trying to be, you know, making it ugly in that for the English fan and that, but boy, that kid ball at a big time against £100 million player in the entire England squad.
Wow.
Really? I mean, England's case, it's been the same thing for over about 2 years now. He's been sticking with that three at the back. He's been persistent with it, never changed the tactic and that. It's the same thing again tonight against Scotland. He got found out by Steve Clarke. Well done to Scotland. They got the point that they deserved. They should have been like winning at least. Che Adams had loads, a couple of chances.
Yeah, that first shot, Father, in the first half, the volley. Oh, that was a big save from Pickford, man.
That was a big save.
And then Reece James off the line, goal-saving block. Do you know what I mean?
It was a great save by the Pickford, but do you know what, man? Tactically, again, in that by Southgate, I have no idea why he didn't start Jack Grealish in the beginning. We've been saying this for about literally a couple of weeks prior to the Euros competition. From the start of the friendly, after the last game of the season, and then persistently he kept Sterling on for about 90 minutes, where he had awful stinker for about 2 games in a row now. And
bro, he's had a bad season. Like, he's had a bad season. He doesn't even get to start enough for Man City anymore. Man City is at a point where they're looking to let him go.
Honestly, like, because I'm not fully English, if you're English fans right now, what would you be looking at Southgate right now? I know you guys be fuming in that, but tactically, again, like, what could he could have done in that second half? Why don't he bring like the likes of Bellingham in the midfield? Because I thought Declan Rice today was very average today. He wasn't like Declan Rice that we used to, you know.
Father, you saw how Bellingham played against Man City in the Champions League. So much more progressive. Much more progressive as a DM.
Yeah, he was, man. And you know, I have no idea where could we go from England, honestly, like, because I'm a neutral. I'm just like supporting England because I live in this country, innit? So for you guys, I think the way, if you guys want to move forward, you have to change your tactic in that. You can't keep playing as the same player, same tactic. I know we've been said the same thing for about 4 weeks in a row now, but honestly, change something up, because every time you play your game against a low block team like Scotland, you guys got found out, and that's the main problem. If you bring on, look at the thing. I saw after the halftime, I was thinking to myself, like, right, we got 45 minutes left. Then, if you look at the table pans out right now, before the full-time whistle ends, I was thinking myself, do we have to win this game to secure the round of 16? Yeah, we should. Why don't we do something up? That's the problem, innit? I think he has to bring on Bellingham, but he didn't bring on. He kept persistent with that Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips.
Bro, as the boys said, it seems like he lacks the guts, man. He does not feel like he doesn't want to take that risk to go out and get the win. He's content with a draw. Do you know what I mean?
That's the problem right now with the England generation right now, and I wouldn't blame this, because every time I keep saying Southgate, there's Southgate, that it's been the same thing again. And look what the comments say. Well, but Jude Bellingham can do much better midfield role than Declan Rice did today. I thought Declan Rice was poor and average today. He was non-existent.
I don't even think that he was that excellent against Croatia either. Look, I'm not having a go at Declan Rice. I think he's a very good player, but I don't know whether he's England wants to play I think England wants to play a fast sort of game. He's not suited to play that sort of style. Do you know what I mean? But Father, honestly, there's quite a lot of people that are tuned in the background. I want to get them in. Thank you so much for your time. And honestly, I love your support with the super chats and whatnot. I love you, man. Thank you.
No.
I'm going to bring in a couple of guys from KH No Filter. This is going to be brilliant. My boys, how you doing?
This wasn't rehearsed. This wasn't
No, it's not rehearsed.
It's just worked out nicely, hasn't it? Boys,
yeah, it really has.
Talk to me, man. I'll go to Andrew first, man. What was that? How do you feel after that performance?
I mean, I'm not going to go overboard because I've been an England fan for a couple of decades, so I know what disappointment looks like. So I think that, and you said it before, I think he's a coward. I think he's a coward.
When you have that caliber of players, how are you not going out and pumping teams 6-7-0? Do you know what I mean?
I'm convinced that if it was only a 23-man squad, neither Sancho or Grealish would have made the squad. Wow. I'm convinced. And also, if he stumbles into a lead, he doesn't put the pressure on to go get more goals. He will settle for that. But if he can't get the lead, he will then settle for not losing.
Yeah.
And I depending on the situation, I kind of buy from that. I didn't see any urgency or impetus in that second half. I didn't see anything. Sterling. Oh, yeah. I just don't get it with Sterling. I know you want to be loyalty's great, yeah, in certain aspects, but not in a tournament, not in tournament football. I mean, he bought Harry Kane came off. He wasn't playing well. And I understand that. And that's fine, but why have you kept Sterling on?
Nah, 100%.
You got 100%. Sancho. You got Sancho as one of the best creators in European football. Yeah, goals and assists. Yeah, and you don't. It's so strange. And I want to big up. I want to big up Billy Gilmour.
Superb
performances like this going forward will convince probably Thomas Tuchel not to even think about sending him out on loan, like some people may have suggested. Yeah. Because
honestly, I don't think we need a DM. I think Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, and then Billy as a backup. Perfect. Leave it as it is.
Maybe one more body just for rotation, but it doesn't have to be a big time player. Do you know what I mean? It could be like another, I can't think of the name, but it can be someone who just brought in for the rotation or just for that. But Billy Gilmour was superb. And I know Arsenal fans are bigging up Tierney like they always do because he could do no wrong.
Tierney was good, man.
He was good. He was good. Yeah, but although he wasn't good going forward, I thought Reece James was very solid in defence. Cleared off the line. I think Reece James, when he plays, Reece James has got to be more confident in himself going forward. Like at right back, seems to be lacking a bit of confidence. I've said it in this stream. It's like he's got a handbrake on.
Yeah, I've said it. I've said it in this stream. I'll bring Marshall in here as well. Let's talk a little bit about Mason Mount and Reece James. Obviously, we'll touch on Billy Gilmour as well with you, Marshall. But for me, Reece that's what I feel like he would be so good as a right centre back for us in a three at the back, because defensively, I think he knows exactly what to do. Going forward, as Andrew said, it's like there is a bit of a handbrake, whether it's confidence, whether he's too scared to make a mistake, whether he just doesn't trust what Southgate's doing up front. So he just want to be exposed. He doesn't want to be that player that, oh my God, here we go. Tierney's just gone around him, multiple times. So I feel like he's done a very good job defensively, and I like him to be that for us going forward in the right centre back. And Mason Mount, man, once again, not only Chelsea's player of the season, he's absolutely showing things up for England single-handedly. He's the only one that cares. I mean, what's your thoughts about these two performances?
Dude, you're nailing on the head. I was just about to say, Mason, of all the players, you always get the slander with the Chelsea camp. Oh, he's not good enough to win, and he's not good enough to win us the league and Champions League. He won us the Champions League. Now, he's not good enough to be in England squad. Played Grealish over him and all that, and we're seeing why he's not playing Grealish over him. It's night and day. He's fantastic. He's the best player on England's pitch, hands down. You have a Harry Kane there. You have a Harry Kane that's on that pitch, and he's playing better than Harry Kane. It's like, what else do you want from the kid, and Reece James, it wasn't superb. It's not like, a Champions League level performance that we saw from him, but he did fine. He did a job. He did well. He had the one little cross that was a dangerous opportunity that Scotland had for Harry Kane, and then Scotland also he surrendered that one cross that Scotland. Pickford had made a world class save for that, but other than that, he was pretty spotless. But Harry Kane should have been scoring that. But it would have been nice to have seen him do that more often, like we see him at Chelsea all the time, like getting that privilege to go forward a little more. I don't think it's so much Reece's fault. I think maybe it's just Southgate's tactics. Before this whole tournament, I was backing Southgate. I'm like, I'm a neutral in this. So I'm just saying maybe the English fans are being a little too harsh on Southgate. He's got a great squad. I know it's like half of it's defenders, but he beat Croatia and it was good. But after seeing this game, oh my God, I kind of get it now, and I kind of retract my statement. So now I'm in the middle. Like, sometimes you get good tactics from Southgate, like with Croatia and how it worked out with Calvin Phillips and all that. And then sometimes you get
Marshall,
games like this.
Even with Croatia, I thought there were moments where Croatia was much better, much better in the middle. They got away with that brilliant move from Calvin Phillips through the middle, how he broke through and put in a sublime pass for Sterling. Even Sterling's finish was not clinical. It looked like it was a bit of a miss hit. Do you know what I mean? So that's why when after that Croatia match finish, I was like, nah, man, I'm not convinced about that.
What I really quickly wanted to bring up with you two, and we mentioned this before with the whole idea of maybe we don't need a DM anymore. Listen, I'm tired of hearing this whole bringing Rice to replace Jorginho idea, because we saw it today, boys. You saw it. Rice, you look at how Italy play, and you look at how England play. When you see Italy, Jorginho drops back. He's there for the ball. They play out the back, but he's there for the ball. He receives it. He can play it to the wings. He plays it maybe to the winger up ahead, or he plays it through the middle. With Rice, he would like the defense would get the ball, and then he would kind of like, all right, I'm gonna go further up the pitch. And then they just had to be forced to go to the wings. It was like crossing Shalah the whole time. Like very, very similar to a style of play I saw earlier this season from another team. But we will talk about that. But it was
too
just
sensitive, bro. It's too sensitive.
It's too sensitive. But it's like, I respect Rice. I think Rice is a great player. But when it comes to, and I do think that I agree with a lot of fans out there that say that we need a proper CDM like Rice, but I would like a CDM that also shows up for the ball a little bit, helps create with the defense, which I didn't see from Rice at all.
Exactly. And this is why I know a lot of people are saying, oh, what happened to Phillips today? I feel like have a look at Phillips for Leeds. He literally plays in that DM, and he's exactly what Marshall's saying, in the sense that he shows for the ball. He's not scared. He doesn't hide. And he literally pings passes from deep for Leeds to get Rafinha, to get Bamford. You'll remember it was Phillips's pass from deep that opened us up in the first game against Leeds, where Zuma was absolutely exposed and Bamford went straight through. It wasn't as if Zuma's mistake. It was literally the pass just undressed him. It really did. It honestly undressed him.
A really
Boys,
good pass.
honestly, thank you so much for your time. I've literally got so many other people lined up, so I want to bring them
course,
in.
man.
Honestly, what a combination this turned out to be. I hope I see you guys again.
Dynamic duo.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Take care,
care,
boys.
Liz.
Take it. I'm going to bring in Victor and I'm going to bring in Bradley. How you guys doing?
I'm good.
Good stuff. I want to go to Victor. Victor's eager to talk about this because he doesn't like how we've been talking about Declan Rice. Look, I just want to put it out there. I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't think he's the kind of hype that he's getting. It's not. It's very much falsified. And when you look at how England wants to play from the back, which I feel like they want to be quicker, Rice, too many times he's holding the ball and he's scanning. Like, dude, you need to know where the pass is before the ball comes to you, like the way Jorginho does, or like the way Phillips does for Leeds and Tchouaméni and whoever else. I don't know. I've not watched them. But overall, what do you think about Billy Gilmour's game and what do you think about Rice's game and also England's perspective as well?
Billy Gilmour was phenomenal. It was. I saw him starting in the team and I thought, oof, this might be a tough start for Billy. In the Euros against an England team that likes to press and like to basically not allow you to hold the ball. I thought he might struggle today, but he proved me absolutely wrong. Him and Mount had a battle. Him and Mount battled the whole 70 minutes.
And you know what? Billy did not lay down. Billy went at it.
Billy did not stop. Billy was hunting him down. He literally saw red when he saw Mount and he was like, Chelsea bias aside, I need to win my country this game right now. And he played phenomenally well. I'm not surprised he got man of the match and I'm really happy for him. It's not the first time he's made a debut and had a man of the match, by the way.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's something there that we really have to take on board against next season. And with Rice, I think it was about the system. I think Southgate told him to drop back too much because Phillips was the one pushing forward. I think it was in like a Chelsea system where they can rotate, like one goes back, one goes forward. I think it could work better for him. But people say he's overrated. I understand why he says overrated because of the English bias and saying, oh, Rice is this, Rice is that. I also don't believe he's worth 80 million. I think he's worth about 50 max.
Yeah.
So I understand that people say he's overrated because of the price, but if you look at the quality of the player, he's literally a player that we need in our team. He can press out from the back. If the player's actually there, if no one is running away from the ball like they did today, and players actually show up, like no Jorginho can never run away from the ball. Kante doesn't run away from the ball. Havertz doesn't run away from the ball. Or Mount doesn't run away from the ball. If they're there and they're passing the ball, and he's able to break out those lines quickly. He's also a very athletic CDM that we really need in the team. We need someone who can get back as quicker when we're in transitions because that really, when we had Jorginho last season, that really put us in a lot of mess.
Yeah,
so
I think the back three is sort of, it's not really exposed us that many times. Besides that West Brom game, which was a bit of a craziness, I don't really. This is where I'll probably disagree with you in the sense that we 100% need a player like in the likes of Rice. I feel like we need. I don't mind having a physical defensive midfielder. I think we probably do need that. But then you have Kante, who's a bit of a box to box. Jorginho at times has shown against Porto, Real Madrid, that he can have that physical side on him as well, depending on the system that we've been playing, which is the back three. So I want to bring in Bradley, man. Bradley, this is a very interesting debate because our fan base is so hyped up, right? They seem to be. I think a lot are coming on board about the whole Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic. They can do a bit of madness. We still need someone, to help them out. But I'm convinced, man, that Billy could be that backup player when something goes wrong. I mean, are you one of those ones that are thinking that Billy doesn't need to go on loan? I think Thomas Tuchel will give him some minutes and he deserves to play. Or do you think, someone like Declan Rice is more of an answer?
No, look, I think one thing watching this match is that, the kid is special. Billy, he's special and he has a lot of talent. And I think this summer is so critical for his career, where he's going to play over the next couple of months. It can really make or break his career. And to have a manager like Tuchel around him, coaching him, personally, I would prefer for him to stay with the club. With that said, I think Rice, to me, it seems or it feels as if he is a safety net sort of target. I don't think that we need Declan Rice in our midfield I don't think he would bring anything different to our style of play or add a different dimension to how we play as Chelsea. But I think bringing him in gives us that little bit of room and that little bit of safety in case of an injury. And because we're battling on so many different fronts and competitions, and we know the history of Kante, we know the history of, some of our players who are a bit injury prone. And so a player like Rice really kind of allows you to, have that little leeway in case somebody picks up a knock. But for 80 million, you have to be wondering, is that really worth it? I think Rice plays a lot better with, people in front of him and traditional wingers, so he can spread the ball from left wing to right wing. And when you look on, I think Tuchel's system, he doesn't have out and out traditional wingers in a sense. He kind of plays with that sort of inverted wingers, running in behind. And so you really have to look on all of those things and determine is that profile of DM really beneficial to what he's good at. He's a bit of a destroyer in midfield, spraying passes to the left and to the right wing.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think, a profile of DM like him would really suit what we would probably be looking for.
Because we actually build up. It's not like we just spray passes, long passes.
Exactly. You're looking for somebody to just play in those half spaces, and to find those small little areas in between the centre back and the midfield, or in between the right back and the centre back, and just have the vision to be able to maybe nick a pass or to push the ball along in those tight areas. So, to be honest, I don't think we need him. I think he's just kind of like a safety net buy, just in case like Kante picks up an injury or somebody picks up an injury, to just slot them into that role. But one thing I want to comment on just quickly is that Mason Mount is just on a different level. Just his ability to read the game, his ability to make a pass. You can tell that his mind, he is operating on just a completely different wavelength.
Bradley, not just with the ball. Look at the things he does without the ball. How he zeroes in on player.
Man, he's amazing. And I'm really looking at Billy and wondering and assessing, can you take that next step up? Because we saw Mason do it in the championship, and he rose to the occasion. And players are different, and some players will take a little bit longer than others. But I'm really looking at Billy and wondering, can he really make that transition to the next step where he's a proven Premier League player? That's what I'm looking at. Because I think
that consistency.
Yeah, for sure. We have to step away from this idea that they're young players and they will grow in.
Got you muted, Bradley, I think, accidentally.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, we've just lost Bradley. But Victor, Bradley, you back? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So, that's just the only thing that I'm wondering, if it would benefit Billy to just take a year, go to somewhere else that can develop him as a midfielder, can grow into his own, and give him a little bit of time to just kind of get that man body too, because he's a small guy, and he's I feel like he's going to probably bulk up just like Mason in the next couple of years. Put on.
By the way, Mason's bulked up big time. Mason's bulked up, like you can see the muscles in his legs now. Like he's really put on some weight.
My mic is being weird. I can't hear you guys, but yeah, that was my 2 cents.
Bradley, thank you for your time, man. I'll keep Victor on. Bradley, thanks. I hope to see you again. I'll bring in ARN as well, just to have him there as the last caller. But Victor, before I go to ARN, I mean, Mason Mount, man, honestly, the guy has been sublime. He's been absolutely sublime for Chelsea as well. And now he's doing bits for England. Just want to ask you, what is it, man? Why can't Southgate get the best out of this team? This is insane. He's literally been given a cheat code with that particular team. He's got everything that he needs to literally go and win this with the players that he has. What is it that's not clicking, man?
I think this team reminds me a lot of Manchester United, where he has a lot of favourites ahead of the players that are actually on form. So all the players he knows he did the work for him in the World Cup still believe they can do it now, even though they've had a poor season. The likes of Sterling, those kind of players who've not had the best seasons, but because they've done it for me before, they can do it for me again. And that's not how football works. You always have to evolve. You always have to change the players. You always have to think of the next step. Sterling should not have played 90 minutes today at all.
Oh, he stunk up the place hard.
Foden should have come off the bench if, let's say, we're 2-0 up, because Foden didn't have enough space like he normally does, because of Scotland's system where there's no space and they've covered up all those spaces in the wings, like a Chelsea formation. They completely isolated him from the game. He should have started Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish, someone to penetrate the line, because you literally have those quality of players on the bench. But you know, he has an abundance of talent. Even the players that didn't take, like James Ward-Prowse. We had so many free kicks today. Imagine we had James Ward-Prowse and Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the bench.
So true, man. So true. Yeah, not capitalizing on the set pieces.
Yeah. If, let's say, we had the players like them, set pieces would have been a lot much better. Because I thought that's why I bought in DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, for the set pieces. But if you're bringing him in, you literally have a player who's a specialist on set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't take him. So I think it's all on Southgate. He just doesn't know. He's basically like a Chelsea of start of last season, and then makes a Manchester United, where he's just go play a game, play like you play for your team.
It's vibes, bro. It's vibes.
Yeah, it's just vibes. Yeah. It's so boring to watch.
There's no technicality. It's just vibes, man. Go out there and do your thing. You guys are good players. You're a bunch of good individual players. Just talk to each other. Make it happen.
That's why Harry Kane keeps on dropping deep, because his mind still thinks he's in Spurs. Like, there's no instructions. That's why you can tell from the way Harry Kane is playing, from the way Sterling's playing, that there's no instructions.
But I'll be honest, I've not even seen Harry Kane in the last 2 games. Literally, he's been a nobody.
Because there's no creativity in the game.
Yeah, there's no instructions. There's no style. There's no instruction.
Yeah.
ARN, my man, I want to bring you in. What do you make of that particular game? Were you impressed with Scotland? Were you, how you feeling about England? Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, Scotland were way better than England, I thought. Billy Gilmour, man, my God, what a player! Southgate, I think he should have started Sancho instead of Sterling. I don't get what he has with Sterling. I just don't understand. And then Kane, he was there to fill in the team, I think. Kane, dropping deep where there is no need. Against the 5-back, he's dropping back. He should be going towards the defense and not dropping down.
True. Agreed, man. He needs to be going towards the defender and pulling them aside to create space. Do you feel there's any chance for this England team, to they say that it's coming home? I mean, is it really coming home?
No chance. No chance. Absolutely.
We can barely hear you, Aaron. Just put your mic up, sound.
Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I think getting out the group is also a big thing for Southgate at this point.
I think they'll get out of the group. I think 4 points is probably enough. Even if you lose against Czech, Scotland, and Croatia, I don't know what's going to happen there. But I think 4 points now for England. That's probably enough to probably get out of the group.
Yeah, but with the players he has, they should be winning the Euros.
100%. That group, they should be getting
France,
3 Ws.
Yeah. After France, I think England have the best squad.
I have to agree. Look at the depth, man. Sancho, Grealish in the bench. Chilwell doesn't even start. Like, it's insane. Marcus Rashford in the bench. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who I've got a lot of time for, in the bench. Like, there's no doubting the depth that these guys have. Victor, I mean, once they go to the second round and into the knockout stages, I mean, let's see what happens. But
they're not going past, because after that they face the group of death. So it's basically not happening.
I mean, if you were to look at England against, say, someone like Italy, or say someone like a France or a Portugal, or even a Netherlands, do you see England going through?
I think they might stand a chance against the Netherlands, but the rest, no. Not at all. Portugal, not Portugal. France has a very good system. France have really good players. And in transition today, where Scotland didn't punish England, France would have punished them seriously.
Oh, with Mbappe and Benzema.
And Griezmann, they would have punished them. All the chances that they gave away, and the defensively as well, with Kante and the two centre-backs for France.
You are not going nowhere.
There's not going anywhere. And for Portugal, the defense for Portugal is just too tough.
Superb.
No, I don't think. I think this is after the group stage. Then it's time to come home. Yeah.
It's time to come home. Just quickly come home. Yeah. Quickly come home. Yeah, man. Honestly, Aaron, thank you for your time. I want to keep Victor. I want to talk about a few other things that are coming up here quickly before we wrap things up. Aaron, thank you so much, my man. Victor, there's some news coming up over here. Fayaz and a few of the other guys are saying we might touch on this tomorrow with the Chelsea transfer news again. But Sergio Ramos, I mean, CFC news page is saying that Chelsea is apparently considering a contract for Sergio Ramos. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, is there a need for this? Like, unless you're thinking Rudiger's not going to sign, unless you're thinking Rudiger's going to leave, you literally have Thiago Silva, who's signed a contract extension. So he's the experienced guy. You still got Azpilicueta. You're thinking about having Reece James as an RCB. Then you've got Christensen as well, who's done a madness under Thomas Tuchel. You got Rudiger. Then you got Mark Guéhi, who's played so well for Swansea. So he needs to have some sort of a pre-season. I mean,
Ethan Ampadu coming back as well. So that's another.
Yeah, Ethan Ampadu is more. I'm thinking he probably needs. I don't know if I can just give him time at Chelsea when he's had 2 failed loans. Do you know what I mean? And not having a go at him, but I feel like he needs to go for another loan and really get that time that he needs, because to not have that time for Sheffield United and also for Leipzig, to then award him, now all of a sudden you're going to get time with Chelsea. Well, it doesn't work that way. You need to get time when you're at loan. You need to impress when you're at loan. Then only you can come back like a Mark Guéhi. He's impressed. So you can come into the conversation. So, but I get your point. He is also another option. Sergio Ramos, man, what do you think? Like, is there a need here?
It's only a need if Chelsea are 100% sure they're losing a centre-back, apart from tomorrow this season. If maybe they're planning on sending out Zuma, I have no idea. It sounds like a good signing. Like, on paper, it sounds like a fantastic signing. Like Sergio Ramos in a Chelsea shirt. Like, who doesn't want to see that? I
mean, put it this way: he's a legend of the game. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he literally has more Champions Leagues than Chelsea.
Come on, bro.
Obviously, is a signing that no one would not look twice on. Considering, maybe they're just considering the options. I don't think he would be a Chelsea player. If he does, I'll be really surprised, because it means someone's getting phased out next season. Because if Aspie's staying, if we're buying Hakimi and we have Reece James, like someone's not playing next season. Yeah, that's how someone's not playing next season. Or maybe Sergio Ramos is injury prone, and Silva is also becoming injury prone. So maybe he's just rotate the two of them. Like, if one world class centre back comes out, we'll put another world class centre back in. Maybe that's what is in Tuchel's mind. I have no idea, but I'm not here to entertain that signing. Not at all.
Yeah, me neither, man. I was more thinking that if Thiago Silva is injured, which he's shown that he's got that in him at the moment. It's age also creeping up, and he can't play every game. Then you have to allow someone like Christensen to fill in there, because he deserves it. He's shown that he can do that. and you rather a 25-year-old Christensen than a, I don't know, 35 or 36-year-old Sergio Ramos. Like, no disrespect, he's a fantastic player, but we've already got Thiago Silva, like, to do that. Like, why have another one to basically do the same thing? So that's why it just simply doesn't make sense. And you know, Chelsea should really be focusing on trying to tie down the Hakimi deal, because it seems like PSG is coming for a madness again. So I wouldn't be thinking about Sergio Ramos. I'd be thinking about Hakimi.
Yeah, Sergio Ramos is also injury prone. Like, I'm not. We need a consistent centre back if we're actually looking for a centre back. We need a centre backs that will play us most of the games. And Chelsea need to wrap up that Hakimi deal ASAP. But I did see that it's a done deal, supposedly a done deal. We just have to wait and see. I don't believe all these transfer rumors until I see him in the shirt with Mourinho in the stadium. Like, even the Kai Havertz, I did not believe until I saw him in the stadium.
Yeah, no. I'm so positive that Hakimi will join us, because there's so many things that's going for him at Chelsea. You know, 3 at the back. He gets to play the wing-back position. He's got that German sort of connection. Thomas Tuchel knows the German league and knows all about pressing, counter-pressing. You know, we're linked with Haaland. So, you know, there's a lot. Hakim Ziyech, if he stays. So there's a lot going.
Champions of Europe. So.
Champions of Europe. That's the biggest one. Champions of Europe. Like, there's a lot going for him. Ladies and gentlemen, look, we've still got over 50 people. Smash the like button. Get the likes up to at least 50, 60 out there. As I said, helps out the channel a lot. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. I will have a few other, Euro sort of reviews down the track planned for Germany as well, because I follow Germany. We've got a roll the dice here saying, Ms, this is what, Ms, did you delete today's stream? No, it's not deleted. There is an issue with my YouTube channel where the processing takes time, but you literally will see the link. If you go to my page, or even on Twitter, you'll see a link that I have, and if you click on that link, that will take you to earlier stream today. So it's definitely not deleted, man. It will show up very, very soon. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this review. Until next time, I hope to see you guys all again. See ya.